there's only a few teams that have unstoppable offensive players, right? You could agree with me, Luka, SGA, Joker, Curry, to name a few.
Steph Curry.
How many teams have two?
Yeah,
the Rockets have two. And you know what? With his improvement, with the addition of KD, name a better duo in the league. I'm listening. There isn't one.
The NBA believed Houston needed more time, that their young core wasn't ready, and that signing a 37-year-old star was a desperate gamble. They lost their point guard before the season even started, and many assumed Reed Shepherd was just another lottery pick who'd take years to develop. But one bold blockbuster flipped the entire West, powered by a sophomore guard hitting nearly 48% from deep on 6 attempts this season.
Pull back by Reed Shepherd. Excuse me.
The Rockets didn't sneak into this season. They crashed the door down. A start on the glass that's rewriting modern NBA history has put the entire league on notice. Houston isn't building. Houston isn't developing. Houston is arriving, and they're doing it right now. Sitting at 9-3, third in the West, they're playing some of the sharpest, toughest, and most disciplined basketball in the league. And if you've really watched them, not the highlights, not the box score, but possession by possession, you already know this isn't a fluke. This isn't a fun, early season run. This is a legitimate contender announcing its presence with authority. Because when you got Kevin Durant drilling game-tying threes under pressure, Alperen Şengün bullying the paint like it's his personal gym, and a roster cleaning the glass at a pace that would break records older than some players in the league. Yeah, the NBA has a problem. And that problem is wearing Rockets red. Let's start with the obvious, KD and Sengun. People doubted Durant. At 37, after a disappointing stretch in Phoenix, many wondered if he could still be that guy when the moment demanded it. Sunday night against Orlando gave everyone the answer loud and clear. Houston trailed most of the game. The Magic, even without Paolo Banchero, controlled the pace and looked ready to close things out. But contenders do what contenders do. They stay close, they wait, and then they strike. With under a minute left and the Rockets still chasing, Durant walked the ball up, sized up Wendell Carter Jr., stepped back, and launched a cold-blooded three. Bang. Tie game. Ice in his veins. Then came the stop. Desmond Bane attacked the rim hard. Sengun sent it back with a clutch block that turned the arena inside out. But chaos wasn't done. Durant slipped on an inbound from Sengun, giving Anthony Black a go-ahead dunk opportunity. He converted, but missed the free throw. Houston still had life. 4 seconds. Just enough time for something impossible. Amen Thompson lobbed it to Sengun in the lane. Turnaround hook. Over Jonathan Isaac. Buzzer. Overtime. And once the game extended, Houston overpowered Orlando. Final. 117-113. Durant's 35 points and Sengun's 30, 12, and 8 told the story. And here's what makes this duo terrifying. Sengun has had this ceiling for a long time. Now he has a closer beside him who has lived through every pressure moment imaginable. When defenses swarm Sengun, he finds one of the best scorers ever. When they collapse on KD, Sengun goes to work inside. There's no right answer, no safe coverage. Pick your poison. Either way, Houston scores. And Durant's doing far more than getting buckets. He's bending entire defenses out of shape.
Durant on top. Durant pulling back, shooting for the tie. He gets it. Kevin Durant is cold.
The Houston Rockets weren't supposed to look like this. Not this early, not this polished, and definitely not this terrifying. The NBA's consensus entering the season was simple. Houston was talented, but unfinished. A team with promise, a team with potential, but still a couple of years away from truly scaring the Western Conference. The Rockets were the kids at the table, developing, learning, getting reps. Then the season started, and suddenly everyone realized they were wrong. Very wrong. Houston didn't ease into the year. They detonated into it. They opened the season with a brand of basketball that felt new, violent, and unmistakably real. They weren't just winning games. They were dictating the terms. They were rewriting the rules. And the biggest shock wasn't that they were 9-3. It was how they were doing it. On the glass, they were making NBA history. On defense, they were inventing new looks teams weren't ready for. And on offense, they were playing like a team that borrowed 2 decades of experience overnight. The Rockets weren't just ahead of schedule. They were taking a shortcut past the schedule entirely. This is not the typical young team having a cute early season hot streak. This is not a mirage. This is a contender. Yes, a real contender, crashing the Western Conference party early, loud, and unapologetically. And to understand how we got here, we have to start with the man who made the entire league raise an eyebrow the moment he signed. Kevin Durant. At 37 years old, coming off a rocky ending in Phoenix, KD arrived in Houston with more questions than hype. Could he still carry an offense? Could he still close games? Could he stay healthy? Would he fit next to a rising star like Alperen Şengün? 12 games in, the answers have been stamped into the court with permanent ink. Durant isn't washed. Durant isn't declining. Durant isn't trying to extend his career. Durant is hooping and hooping at an elite level. And the moment that sent shockwaves across the league came on a Sunday night against the Orlando Magic. Houston trailed almost wire to wire. Orlando dictated pace, controlled runs, and looked like they were walking out with a win. Even without Paolo Banchero, the Magic had Houston on their heels. But the Rockets stayed within striking distance, not panicking, not forcing shots, just waiting for the door to crack open. And with under a minute left, KD kicked that door off its hinges. He walked the ball up calmly, eyes locked on Wendell Carter Jr. One dribble, another, a subtle change of pace. Then a signature KD step back three, smooth, effortless, inevitable. Splash. Tie game. Cold as ever. In that moment, Houston didn't just tie the game. They announced to the league, we have a closer now. And on the next defensive stand, Sengun delivered his own masterpiece, timing a clutch block on a driving Desmond Bane like he'd been rehearsing it for years. He didn't just block the shot, he erased it. But then chaos hit. Durant slipped on an inbound pass. The ball popped free. Anthony Black scooped it, sprinted, dunked, and drew a foul. The Magic had a chance to put the game away, but the missed free throw left a crack open. 4 seconds. Seasoned teams live for these moments. Young teams fold. Houston? They executed. Ime Thompson triggered the inbound. Sengun got position. Turnaround hook over Jonathan Isaac. Pure. Net. Buzzer. Overtime. And in that extra period, the Rockets didn't just outplay Orlando. They overwhelmed them. No panic, no hesitation. Durant scored like the basket owed him money. Sengun controlled every possession like a maestro conducting an orchestra. Final score, 117-113. Durant, 35. Sengun, 30, 12, and 8. It wasn't just a win. It was proof of concept. It was the blueprint. Sengun's been capable of all-star production for a while now. But the difference this season? He finally shares the floor with a closer, a man who has lived inside the biggest moments basketball can offer. When defenses collapse on Sengun, he fires it out to one of the greatest scorers ever. When they double KD, Sengun feasts inside with space he's never had before. There is no right answer. Pick wrong and you get burned. Pick right and you still probably get burned. And the crazy part? Durant isn't just scoring. He's bending defenses into shapes they weren't built to handle. And that gravitational pull is exactly why Reed Shepherd is having a breakout year that no one, not even his biggest fans, saw coming. The sophomore guard, shooting a ridiculous 47% from three, has become Houston's surprise weapon. Teams can't help off him because they're terrified of leaving Durant. They can't send help on Sengun because Shepherd is waiting with a hair-trigger release. Ime Thompson is slicing to the rim with more space than he's ever had. Jabari Smith Jr. is getting catch-and-shoot looks in rhythm. It all flows from the gravity of KD and Sengun. But this isn't just an offense story. This is a story about domination on the glass. Through 12 games, Houston posted a 41% offensive rebounding rate, a number so absurd it sounds like a typo. They're generating more than 20 second-chance points per game. And a massive part of that identity is Steven Adams, the human refrigerator. At 32, Adams remains the best offensive rebounder per minute in the NBA. A ridiculous 5.1 offensive boards per game in limited minutes. When he shares the floor with Sengun, opponents don't secure defensive rebounds, they survive them. In overtime against Orlando, the Sengun-Adams pairing turned the paint into a demolition site. They bullied their way through bodies, chased rebounds like their lives depended on it, and capped it off with a behind-the-back pass from Sengun to Adams that broke the arena. Off the bench, Clint Capella, another starting caliber center, crashes the glass like he's angry at it. 3 elite rebounders in one rotation. Good luck to anybody trying to end possessions. And then there's Jabari Smith Jr., who has quietly become the glue that holds the entire structure together. A career-high 14, 5 points, 37% from 3, and elite defensive versatility. His confidence has finally caught up to his talent. And the wildest part? Reed Sheppard isn't just shooting well. He's doing it with swagger. 12, 3 points in 22 minutes, nearly 6 threes a game, and hitting almost 48% of them. He's leading the team in attempts despite coming off the bench. When Fred VanVleet tore his ACL, this could have shattered Houston's season. Instead, it unlocked a new weapon. The three-point shooting across the roster has been insane, 42.6% as a team, even though they shoot the fewest threes per game in the league. These aren't easy looks either. KD pull-ups, Jabari corner shots, Sheppard catch-and-fires. Even Sengun is knocking down threes at 45%. Some of that will regress. Tari Eason shooting 50% from deep? Yeah, that's coming down. But the system? The system is sustainable. And that system belongs to Ime Udoka, the architect behind this entire transformation. Udoka flipped Houston from the analytic-heavy Maury Ball identity into a team that thrives on physicality, mismatches, and isolation dominance. They rank 25th in passes per game, but first in offensive rating. How? Because when your ISO players are KD and Sengun, you don't need 300 passes. You need space and execution. And on defense, Udoka threw the league a curveball. Houston plays zone on 18% of possessions, almost double any other team. They mix between man and zone effortlessly. They have length at every position. They force mid-range shots. They don't give up easy threes. They live at the free throw line. And above all, they don't panic. Close games, they execute. One-possession battles, they stay calm. Playoff-style pressure, they lean on the guy who's been through every war basketball offers. Durant gives Houston more than scoring. He gives them belief. He's teaching this young core how to win when it's ugly, when it's tense, when the season feels like it tilts on one possession. Sengun plays freer because he trusts KD behind him. Sheppard shoots quicker because KD encourages it. Jabari defends harder because winning feels real now. The entire team has absorbed Durant's championship DNA. The Western Conference is brutal. OKC is legit. Denver is still Denver. Injuries happen. Seasons are long. But if you're a Rockets fan, this is the most excited you've been in years. A 23-year-old all-star level big. Young stars developing. Veterans who know how to win. And Kevin Durant, still elite, still clutch, still teaching the game like a master. This isn't the old Rockets. This isn't a rebuild. This isn't a cute storyline. This is a threat. Houston is loud. Houston is physical. Houston is confident. Houston is here. Hit that like button if you think the Rockets are legit contenders. Subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. And check out the videos on your screen because this season is only getting crazier.